Rice is really that good, right?
Welcome back to Fox Carolina Tailgate. I can barely hold him off during the commercial break.
Make sure that shot's tight. You know what I mean?
So you're unimpressed?
With me?
With South Carolina right
With
now.
Corey Miller or South Carolina? All of the above.
I give Corey. I like the sunglasses, man. Very stylish.
I got them for another day for you.
All right, but with South Carolina, I mean, look, the team is doing the best with the talent that they have. And so the credit I give them is they have the right football coach, head coach, in my opinion. And he is doing better with recruiting. But if we look at that program to program, Clemson and South Carolina, they're just not Clemson yet. They're not on that level yet. Now, one day,
which
they
you've
can
admitted.
Get there.
You don't give them side eye.
They
You've
can get
admitted
there.
that the
But
expectations
right now,
are
But you know
different
what?
because these two teams.
No, expectations are not different. I think every coach has
the
expectations
expectations are
win.
totally
For
different.
a fan base, maybe, but not inside that locker room. Now,
oh no, you can't.
but here's the
admit
guy
that.
that's sitting here saying, "Well, here, we're not the same, Clemson." But last time I checked, last time I looked around and smartphone, tablet, whatever, I saw that little team that's not as good, not as talented, came into your backyard. Your backyard right down the street
year, man.
here, as they say in the country.
Last
right
year.
down the street. That little team that don't have no
snuck
talent
one.
hit you in the mouth and left out there with a W.
You snuck one out of there.
Oh, we snuck one out now.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
You snuffed it out.
If I remember correctly, that little team.
This is a conversation for next week.
Okay.
Yes.
But that little team.
I remember.
They stole the heart.
I was down
no
there.
No heart was stolen. Okay.
I want
We'll
to
save it
know
next week.
about where Clemson is right now.
Well, so you look against the way they played against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, were the opponent. They have some big wins. I mean, they've had some wins
Can I
this
look
season.
side-eyed
Some
now?
wins. The whole now you're.
But
you're
here's what
allowed
I'm
to
saying
say.
about where the opponent is. No, I'm not saying that Clemson should not have won the game, but that's not a cupcake team to beat. And so my point is that
I think they lean more cupcake than not.
Yeah,
though.
I think so.
so they're not the middle of the road.
No.
You don't think so? Okay.
Yeah, and you
well,
know
we
they're
don't.
not.
But here's what I would say. It's the way that Clemson played the game. I
Right.
saw a lot of young talent play in that game.
Yes.
I saw the energy level on the sideline, on the field, different than I've seen it all year at all levels of the game. And then on both sides of the football, you saw some great young talent in the secondary. We talked about the secondary and the talent, or somebody think the lack thereof, made some great plays.
Yeah, they stepped up.
I
They shined in that one. I want to talk about the running game, though, because that has been such a big part of it. That was something that was the confidence for this Clemson team coming into this season. And then, as you mentioned, it wasn't producing what it really should have been doing. And they're doing it. And we saw Phil Mafah got that start.
Yep.
And we saw a little bit more of a balanced approach there that I think served them incredibly
And
well.
so changing the run game to fit Phil Mafah's running style, to me, was key, right? And you don't do that. I don't think the offense get there without Shipley being injured for that, to be honest with you, because it changed styles, and they changed the run game to fit the running back. Downhill, between the tackles, north-south runner, you change your zone scheme to man scheme up front, and let those offensive line move guys and let Phil get in those creases, and it has worked. And I think you saw us run that again against Georgia Tech. Even though Shipley was back, you still saw the run game continue to kind of be the same and designed the same way.
So you're in agreement for what I said about 6 weeks ago, maybe, that
you
Mr.
guys were
Mafah
always in agreement about
that
that.
Mr. Mafah should be the guy from day
We've
one.
always been the
We
same.
always-
But
we've
Shipley
always-
is beloved by the Clemson faithful, and he gonna get the favor there.
He
Let's
brings
just be
an
real
element
about
to
it.
the game. He's not a bad running back. He can start on a lot of teams.
But is
He's
it
an
bad
effort.
coaching if you're not playing the best player? Is that
Well,
not bad coaching?
Again, when I preface that by saying running styles and running schemes, right? And so the scheme that we've been running for the last 5
fit his
years
style.
have been zone running,
He's
side
not
to
a
side.
zone run guy.
And so now you get a guy
Right.
in Phil that brings it downhill, and so we've
I
changed
like him
it.
a lot. Listen, they've won 2 games. I mean, Notre Dame is Notre Dame. I mean, it's not like that's some great opponent.
Oh, my
Let's just be
gosh.
real about it. Georgia Tech, it's a good conference winner, to be honest. But we still don't know who the Clemson Tigers are. I mean, we're going to find out, I think, more so this week. I mean, North Carolina, we thought was a good team, and they've fallen off the wagon.
I don't want to let you get off that thread
I mean,
too quickly, because I agree with you that we don't totally know who this Clemson football team is. But I think what I like more than the production, more than I liked that we are seeing them and their willingness to make some changes. And I think
that's a great point.
I think that's really valuable for the future of Clemson.
That's good. That's good. But here's the key. Let me help you out here. The key is, will he get out of this rut and hit the portal? Because the reality is, they don't have enough dudes.
But do they need to hit the portal?
Yes.
We've had Phil Mafah sitting on the sideline.
They need to hit the portal. They got a lot of problems.
Do you have these guys?
Offensive line, wide receiver, linebacker.
Do you think they need to hit the portal?
Outside backer.
I don't think they need to hit the portal to get better. Now, the portal to me is, if you want to build depth at some positions.
I feel like you've got you're dancing here. You're dancing
I'm not dancing.
around it.
So here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I think every year some teams you're going to lose some guys to the portal. Therefore, you're going to have to replace some guys with the portal. I think the difference in Coach Sweeney now that I think going forward will be about the portal is, instead of when I lose guys to the portal, I pick up scholarships in high school freshmen and sign more kids. I think you will see him probably replace those kids with guys from the portal. I think that's a change you'll see as far as how they do things. And I think he's learned from that. I think he saw the teams get better because of it instantly, and I think he will do the same thing.
Because Florida State beating you over the head, now beating like a drummer. Because
They
got 15 or 22 of their starters. It's from the end.
We lost that game.
Listen,
they did not beat us in that game. We lost that game.
Okay, whatever. You lost. It's in the L column. I mean, my thing is this. Florida State, 15 and 22 of their starters from the transfer portal. Now they're going to win the ACC. Then you got a team like Louisville also, who's the second best team in conference. So now Dabo's on the outside looking in. It's like, I've been stubborn. I want to build with my guys and my recruits. Here's the reality. Once again, Clemson fans, my wife went to Clemson. Her kids went to Clemson, graduated from Clemson. And I'm going to give you this little piece of advice because I love you from a distance through my wife. Stop being stubborn. You better hit the transfer portal. Don't be like, he better. No, you go hit the transfer portal, because why? If you don't, you are every year 4 or 5 losses.
No. Here's what I'm going to say about that. The pushback on that is this.
You got 30 seconds.
Florida State, they are who they are this year. But they can't sustain that with that many starters being from the portal. That is the crux of that. You're going to have to try to make that work every season, and you can't do that. And so, therefore, you get in that trap, you'll see Florida State win this year. Next year they may build.
I also get the exclamation point here because, it's my show. I also think that the transfer portal is a totally different beast currently right now in what we're seeing, because we've got really old guys in there. And I think that has been the exclamation point on this year's college football across the board. They've got these really old guys with COVID years.
7-year vets.
Yes, that are out there playing football and making moves in this last season. So I think that's been an exclamation point on the transfer portal and the effects that we have seen. Yes, I did.
22 years old.
They're not. There's some 24-year-olds out there. Anyway, we have to toss it to break. We'll be back for the pick'em after this.
It's her show.
It's my show.
Exclamation point.